Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. So today I want to talk to you about breakfast. Breakfast is supposed to be the most important meal of the day. I don't know, sometimes I think it is, sometimes I think it isn't. I'm not a huge breakfast person, but some days I just want a good hearty meal. So I'm going to show you over the next couple days some ideas about breakfast. You know, when my kids were growing up, I tried to make for sure that I gave them a good breakfast in the morning. Didn't always work. There were times that a bowl of cereal was what they had, and that was just the way it was because, you know, let's face facts. We all get busy, but, you know, I tried. So, you know, when I was growing up, my mom worked, and so she did the best she could on making for sure we had breakfast. And a lot of times it was just a piece of toast or something as we were rushing out the door. And I always thought, oh, I was going to do so much better than that. My kids were always going to have a warm, hot meal. And, you know, I remember watching the Brady Bunch, and I'd see Alice making breakfast for the kids, and she'd have their lunches all ready, and I would think, oh, that's going to be me. I'm going to be that mom, or, you know, even though Alice was the maid. But I would think to myself, you know, that's the way I'm going to do it. And I would watch like Father Knows Best and some of those older shows, and you'd always see the moms making warm, hot breakfast, and they'd sit down and they would have their meals together, their breakfast. And once again, I'd always think, oh, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, then reality hits in. And some mornings I was just doing the best I could to just get my kids out the door and where they needed to go. So I had to learn that I needed to just not beat myself up and do the best I could, and that's all that mattered. So I did come up with, though, you know, some quick and easy breakfasts to get them going some days. But like I said, some days it was a granola bar or a piece of toast, or it was cereal, whatever I could do. But one of their favorites when they were little was oatmeal. And so I would make oatmeal for them, and they loved it. One of my daughters just loved plain old oatmeal. She just wanted it just plain. I'm not a fan of that. My other daughter, she loved it with raisins and cinnamon and sugar. Now, I like mine with cinnamon and sugar. So today I'm going to show you, I'm going to cook some quick oats, and so that's what we're going to have for breakfast today. And so it's really simple to do, and all you got to do is I get Quaker oats, and I use the quick 1-minute oats. Now, when my kids were little, I used the ones that you had to buy at the store, or the ones that you had to cook over the stove. That took for a little longer, because I didn't have a microwave when my kids were little. I know some of you are probably going, what? How did you function without a microwave? I have no idea, but I did. So, the recipe on the back of the box, because that's what I'm following, says a half a cup of oats. So I'm putting that into the bowl, and a cup of milk. Now I use whole milk, and I know you can probably use whatever milk you like. I like whole milk. I used to use 2%. I actually grew up on 1% milk, and somewhere along the line I changed to whole milk, and I've been drinking whole milk ever since. I don't drink a lot of milk, just because I'm not a huge milk person, but when I do, I like whole milk. So I put in 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to stir this, and then I'm going to put it into the microwave, and it says to put it in the microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes. Now my microwave, I put it in for about 1.5 minutes. Alright, so I've stirred this up, and I'm going to go put it in the microwave, and I'll be right back. While that cooks, we can just chit-chat for a little bit. So, as I was saying, you know, my kids loved oatmeal. When my kids were little, we lived in northern Nevada, and it was kind of cold in the mornings. And so a hot, warm breakfast was something that they really did enjoy. And it was kind of quick. I would get it started while they were getting ready for school. And it would be something that was ready while they were, as soon as they were dressed. And then they would eat it, and we would head out the door, and off to school we would all go. But as they got older, they no longer really wanted hot breakfast. There were times that they would have salad for breakfast. And that's okay, you know, nothing wrong with that good old salad for breakfast. It all depends on what you really want, you know. So, but, you know, everybody's different. Everybody likes different things for breakfast. So, you know, some people like eggs, some people like salad. Some people like oatmeal, some people, you know, like my husband like cereal. My husband, he will eat just cereal with no milk, and he's perfectly happy with that. And you know, some people like toast. Sometimes I'll actually sometimes just make a peanut butter sandwich for breakfast. It just depends. So you know, everybody's different. So microwave just beeped, so I'm gonna grab out my oatmeal and see, and we'll go from there. All right, so the oatmeal is all bubbly. It's still a little on the runny side, but it will thicken up as it sits here for a few minutes. Now, as I said, I like to add cinnamon sugar. You can add other things at this point. You could add some raisins. You could chop up some apples and put those in here. You could chop up some other fruit. So now I know you can purchase cinnamon sugar already mixed. We actually make our own. So I just keep a container, and when it empties, we just add our own sugar and our own cinnamon, and we make our own. So I'm gonna sprinkle on some until I feel like it's enough. Usually probably about a teaspoon is all that I'm gonna add. And then I'm gonna mix it up. And this is piping hot, so I'm gonna let it cool for a minute, and then I will enjoy my oatmeal before I get started on my day. So, and I'm gonna let it thicken up a little bit. All right, well, thanks for coming along with me this morning and enjoying a nice hot breakfast. So, all right, well, I hope you have a great day and you enjoy your day. So thanks. Good morning, Grandma Debbie here. So I'm going to show you one more breakfast. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so you can see my face a little bit better. And my hand, why not? All right, so I'm going to show you how to make eggs in a nest. This was one of my kids' favorite. It was a breakfast that sometimes we'd make during the week, but mostly we would make it during the weekend. And it's just kind of a fun little breakfast to make, and you can do it in no time flat. So all you need are some eggs, some bread, and butter, and then a griddle. So, all right, so first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a cookie cutter. I'm gonna use a round one, but you can use any cookie cutter you want. You can use hearts, diamonds, any cookie cutter you want. So you're gonna cut out a circle. Well, first off, I'm gonna butter my bread. And you're gonna end up buttering both sides. And I've already got my griddle warming. But I'm gonna cut my hole first. All right. And I'm going to do 2 pieces of bread. Normally I don't eat this much, but it's just to show you what you can do. So how's everybody doing? You doing great? How's your morning going? Or your afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. So my day is going pretty good. It's kind of getting a little warm. We're due for the 90s, which I'm not ready for. I'm still wanting it to be springtime, and I think we're going to divert spring and go straight into winter or summer. All right, so I'm going to plop these on here onto my griddle, and then I'm going to crack an egg. I'm going to put an egg in the center of each one. Now I've got my griddle warming up to 350, but you can do yours at whatever temperature your griddle says to cook it at. Then I'm going to take these little pieces and I'm also going to stick these on here and cook these as well. Let me throw my shells away. Return. Now at this point, you're going to want to add any salt and pepper that you might want to your eggs. I'm just going to add a little bit of both. And you're going to cook your eggs to however done you want them to be. Salt doesn't want to come out. And you're going to cook them to however you like your eggs cooked. These are kind of fun little things for the kids to do. You can do them during the week if you want, or on the weekend, like I said. So they're just a fun little treat and just something you can do. I add a little bit of butter to my little rounds so that they can crispen up as well when I turn them. And I'm going to add a little bit of butter because I didn't butter them before I put them on here. So I'm going to add a little bit of butter. I'm going to do it very lightly onto the sides of my bread. Being very careful to just get the ends. And I actually use real butter. You can use margarine or if that's what you use, but I like real butter, so I use real butter. But that's completely up to you as to what you want to use. So breakfast in our family it's always been a little important, time, especially on the weekends. We love to have breakfast on the weekends with each other. We would make pancakes and waffles and eggs and bacon. It just depended on what we were doing that weekend, but we always enjoyed it because it was a fun time to get together as a family, and we would come up with different things to make, and it was just a fun way to start our weekend. And we'd come up with interesting things to make, and just a fun time together. So what would you do for your family? What did your family do? Did you guys make breakfast, or did you just start your day and proceed? I mean, as we got older, or if we had a lot of things going on, it was just like I said, but we'd grab a granola bar sometimes and head out the door, and there we'd go. So, just depend. Alright, so my egg stuck, so I guess I should have put down some stuff prior, because I didn't think of that. As I said before, I'm going to make lots of mistakes because I'm notorious for doing that. Alright, so I'm going to turn my egg over to get it to cook on the other side. Whoa. So, because I like my eggs cooked a little bit more. I do like them a little runny, but not like to where, I like the whites cooked. The yolk's a little runny. But yeah, I forgot to spray the skillet with some Pam or something. But what can I say? If there's something I'm gonna forget, it'll be something important. But this skillet has seen a lot in its day. It was an actual wedding present. And so it's cooked a lot of pancakes, it's cooked a lot of grilled cheese sandwiches, It's cooked a lot of eggs in a nest. It's cooked a lot of bacon because it's cooked a lot in its lifetime. You know, it's over 40 years old and it still keeps going strong. So we'll see how long it keeps going. Hopefully a lot longer. So I have one more breakfast that I'm going to share with you this week. And that'll be tomorrow's breakfast. So, and hopefully I remember to not season the pan, but we'll see what happens. I tend to get talking, I told you, and I forget things. You know, like one time I was making French toast, and I was getting everything going, and I was scrambling the eggs, and I had just put in the vanilla, and I meant to put in cinnamon, and I grabbed pepper instead. I added the pepper, and my daughter goes, "I thought you were making French toast," and I was like, "Oops." So I said, "Well, that's our family secret. Don't tell anybody what our family recipe is." All right, so it looks like I'm going to turn this back up a little bit to brown it up. I've been adjusting the temperature as we've been talking because it's just not, toast isn't cooking as well as it should be. And as you can tell, it stuck pretty good, so I'm going to have some cleaning to do. I'm just scraping this off. But it's my fault. I should have put some cooking spray down. But of course I forgot. So, and I didn't add enough butter, I guess, for it to not stick. So oh well. Things happen. Life happens, right? Just keep on going. All right. So it looks like my eggs are exploding now. Gonna be one of those days, right? So tomorrow's breakfast, I'm thinking about omelets. Ham and cheese omelet. What kind of omelet do you like? So give that some thought and let me know. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and plate this up, turn this off. Got my plate right here, ready to go. Don't forget to grab the little circles, because those are always fun too, or your little cutouts. All right. Then it looks like breakfast is ready to go. All right, well, thanks for joining me this morning, and I will see you tomorrow where we will have some ham and cheese omelet. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I use to make my omelets fluffy. And, you know, we'll get together then. All right, see you tomorrow. Thanks and have a great day. Bye. Good morning. This is Grandma Debbie. So I'm going to make an omelet today in our series of breakfast ideas. And I'm hoping that you have a great day. So let's get started. I'm going to make a 2-egg ham and cheese omelet to show you and to start my day off. All right, let's get going. And I'm hoping that my phone doesn't fall over. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've got 2 eggs here, and I'm going to break them up, and I'm going to try to move the camera, so I'm sorry. I'm going to move everything so you can see what I'm doing. So, nice thing about omelets is that you can put whatever kind of ingredients you want in them. So I sometimes will just do cheese or in them. All right, let me throw these away. wash my hands real quick. All right, so I'm going to scramble these up. So what's your favorite kind of omelet? I know some people like egg white omelets. Those are pretty good. Sometimes I'll do those with a little bit of veggies, whatever veggies I might have in the refrigerator. They're really good with like asparagus or broccoli. That sounds good. All right, now I'm going to add a little bit of water. I use water in my omelets, and the reason why I use water is because it makes them a little more fluffier and it steams them. So I'm going to put a little bit of water. All right, so I got the water going, and I'm gonna beat this a little bit until they really get fluffy. Now I don't add any salt and pepper when I'm making my omelet. I wait until after it's done. Some people like to add it at this point, and it's completely up to you as to whether or not you want to add it to your scrambled egg mixture, but I just don't. I don't add a lot of seasonings to my food. My husband does. He likes to add it. I just don't. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down so I can get a little more of a beating it up going on here. All right, so I'm going to turn on my All right, so I got this going. I'm going to add a little bit of butter. Now, do you keep your butter out or do you put it in your refrigerator? We keep our butter out for most of the year until it gets really hot. Then we put it away. But we use it so much that it doesn't really go bad. We go through the cube pretty quick. All right, so I'm just kind of swirling it around to get it to melt in the pan, so that it's all melted. So omelets are one of those breakfast items. See, I can't even speak. I don't even know what's going on. Omelets are one of those breakfast items that you can actually eat for lunch, or you can have it for dinner, or you can just have it for a snack, whatever you want. It's one of those very versatile meals. All right, so my butter's all melted, and so now I'm going to pour my eggs in. All right, and now to get the steam going really good, I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that it steams. So I'm going to let it steam for a few minutes, and then after it's done steaming, I'm going to add my ham and cheese. I've already grated my cheese and I've chopped up my ham. And then I'm going to add that. As you can tell, it's starting to steam up a little bit, so I'm going to break this little bubble here. And I'm going to bring it, getting a little crispy. It's doing great. So I'm going to put my lid back on. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so it can continue to steam. So, all right, see, as you can tell, it has fluffed up. So now I'm going to add my ham on one side along with my cheese. Get it all over there. I'm going to put this back on for just a second, and I'm going to turn off my stove just to get it to melt just a little bit. And it's starting to melt, and now I'm going to flip it. And that's always the tricky part. Whoops. Come on, don't fail me now. Yeah. You know you're cooking live or real, and things don't go your way. All right, let me grab a fork. Well, where there is a will, there is a way. Watch me struggle. All right, got it folded in half. My hand's all falling out. I guess I used too much. All right. So now the cheese is all getting all nice and melted. I'm going to put it on my plate. Put the last piece of ham on there. And it's about time for breakfast. All right, well, thanks for joining me in this breakfast series. I really had a good time having you come along with me. So go ahead and hit the like or the button, the subscribe button. Put any comments down below if you have any questions or anything. And you go out and make it a great day. Thanks for coming along. All right, bye.